Right off the bat, I didn't cry. I did read about this. This guy bullies a girl, he wants to redeem himself, and there are some serious topics within it. This movie is very paced. A lot has happened and it was only 30 minutes that passed. Even after watching a lot of the movie, there was still an hour left. Even when the climax happens, there's still like 20 minutes of the movie left. So it feels very slow paced. But at the same time, things also feel a bit rushed. Like the younger sister posted that photo, then immediately confesses she did it only like one day later, then their mom hates him, and suddenly she's fine with him, and the deaf girl suddenly loves him out of nowhere. Like suddenly there's conflict and then it suddenly get resolved out of nowhere. But luckily they didn't hint any of them being together cause it will feel inauthentic. Cause I didn't feel they had any romantic connection other than being just friends. Because they're both very troubled and have a lot of dark trauma. It just feels weird if they suddenly be in love like that. The beginning was good, powerful stuff. But somewhere in the middle, it was like feeling kind of generic. I was losing a bit of interest. But towards the back of the movie, it slowly started to make me like it. And the very last few parts of the movie, it really redeemed itself. And it did make me feel something and wonder about my own life. At first I was thinking like, oh, so that's all the dark topics they're talking about? Then it got way darker and more relatable. Then I'm like, okay, I know my place. Feeling lost, alone, unwanted, all of those things are very present and it feels very real. And it just changes your point of view and your way of thinking. The thing that stands out is that it highlights that everyone has a problem, even seemingly normal people. At the start, the deaf girl was labeled as the problem because she was different from everyone else. But it turns out everyone has flaws of their own, no matter how normal they seem. One of them is a bully, one of them likes to act like a victim, and one of them likes to run away. It was very prevalent because that mean girl was mean for the majority of the whole movie and never changed. So I was surprised when I saw she was still hanging out with the group at the end in one of the frames. This movie just makes me feel like I have to be kinder to everyone. And we're all equals and no one deserves like unnecessary hate. And everyone is struggling. And the world needs more love. Because if you were in that situation, it will feel very hopeless. And those feelings are all too real for me. And I bet for a lot of people as well. For a dark movie, it also seemed to have a bit of good humor. The drama was also intense. And I also couldn't really predict what was gonna happen next. But the thing is that the main guy and main girl both have kind of identical names. So it was kind of a mind freak to tell them apart. And on top of that, the rest of the characters' names are also kind of unmemorable. And that orange hair guy is just there? This time it's the characters' names that are confusing, not the actual plot. But this one will tug on your heartstrings. It's a good eye-opener and has a great message. Another thing is that it just shows you, like, someone can just exist and then people just take offense. That deaf girl didn't even do anything wrong, she was just there, she didn't hate anyone. But that mean girl just took it so personally for some reason and just hated her for so long. It's just unnecessary hatred for no reason. Well, not no reason, but it's just like she did it to herself. She can completely like, okay, I'll let it go, okay, and be mature and realize, okay, it's not this girl's fault, it's my own problem, and then she'll be more happier. But it's also real, you know, when people argue about stupid things and then they hold grudges like that. But in this case, in this movie, it feels like, yeah, she just took it so personally. She was basically going through a lot of things also, and then she didn't know how to handle it, so she just lashes out on this person. And of course, in the real world, there are people like that. Even I'm also like that. But it just shows you how toxic it is. It's like that quote, you hate someone and then it's like you're drinking poison to try and kill them, you know? But in this case, that person doesn't hate you. She's still okay with you and then don't have any ill feelings. So it just highlights this bad trait to have as a person, being so toxic and negative. Or being selfish, not thinking about other people's feelings, thinking everything is about you. And the bully gets karma. At first he feels proud and then now he's in the bottom of the food chain. And then now he knows what it feels like and then now he's maybe in a worse position than what the girl was going through. So it's all of these things that make it feel so real and touching. The story, like I said, at first it was getting generic, but then it really took a turn and it was really interesting. So it will really make you think differently and how to act. So this one, A Silent Voice, this one is an 8 out of 10.